How to get a lot more done with a lot less people. This is a problem that you are likely facing if you have any significant number of team, even 2 or 3 team members, and suddenly you're going to run into a problem. And that is, well, if there's all of these things that need to be done and I don't really know how to get my team to do them and we don't have any documentation of what they do, then what's going to happen is that your team is going to end up problem solving. They're going to end up working out how to get the things that are required in your business done. This is unfortunately relatively inefficient. It's efficient the first time through. When you first work out how to get something done, to get the results that you want in your business, that's fine. But then when that same requirement comes up in 2 weeks' time or in 6 weeks' time, and instead of having documented what goes on and having clear steps and clear results that that system is meant to produce, your team, or more likely you, have to go back and work out how to do it again. That is wasted time. And note that there is no guarantee that you'll actually get the same results. Like, you just lost all of that problem solving work because it wasn't documented. Now, there are a couple of other layers to this where people can run into problems. So they document the solutions, but then there's disorganization in the way that your processes are stored and no one can find where they are, so they don't get used. This is a significant problem and puts you right back in the first place where you're having to problem solve how to get stuff done. This also means that you're going to run into errors, that people aren't going to do all the required steps, that your risk of having errors goes way up when there is no documentation. And this also is a significant problem for you. You see, there's the work itself that has to be done, but when you run into errors and mistakes, suddenly that has the potential to generate large amounts of work. Sometimes it's only small, maybe it's a 10-minute fix or a 20-minute fix, but sometimes your lack of documentation, your inability to run systems for yourself and for your teams leads to 6 hours of work, 20 hours of work, 200 hours of work. When stuff goes badly wrong because critical steps got missed, and you have to go back and fix everything, or you get sued, or you end up with bad reviews everywhere, suddenly your inability to document the process isn't just a problem-solving problem, i.e. your team has to work out what to do every time, but instead now you've got a fire-putting out problem. You've got 3 hours of work that you just lost that has to be going back and fixing the errors because it wasn't documented. This is a significant problem. This is really why you want systems. That you want your documentation so that your team problem solve once and then it is documented and then you go and use that system over and over. So it has to be usable. You have to make it easier for your team to use the instructions than not to. People are strange. People will literally not use the instructions if it's at all difficult. You literally have to make it easier for them. Almost like stumbling into putting the instructions right on front of them. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's easy when I have the instructions right in front of me. It's a little bit like Lego. Like, if you've got Lego and you don't have the instructions, it's very difficult. If you have Lego and you do have the instructions, it's really easy. Like, it's literally this step, this step, this step, and you can build incredibly complex Legos just by following the next step, the next step, the next step, the next step. This is what is going on in your business. And most likely you actually have less systems that are being executed than you think. The problem is that your lack of systems keeps creating fires. And these fires take a lot longer than the actual work in the beginning. If you want to know how to do this, if you want to get your systems on point, if you want to be able to document how they work and also make it easy for your team to use them, then head over to systemio.dev. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thanks for joining in today's episode as we continue this journey into the power of systems to create results. Look forward to seeing you next time. See you then.